Good day. I'm Peter Jayson Moredo, the Service Learning Specialist for the Center for Social Concern and Action, or COSCA. With me in this paper is Dr. Sterling Plata from the Department of English and Applied Linguistics. The title of our research paper is Education for Sustainable Development During the COVID-19 Pandemic, Localization of SDGs through Electronic Service Learning in Purposive Communication. Allow me to start the presentation by introducing the key components of the paper, which are Education for Sustainable Development, e-service learning, localization of SDGs, and purposive communication. As background of the study, the publication of Education for Sustainable Development Roadmap in 2020 by UNESCO is an urgent call for action to address the impact of the pandemic on the attainment of the SDGs. The document states that for our own survival, we must learn to live together sustainably on this planet. We must change the way we think and act as individuals and societies. So in turn, education must change to create a peaceful and sustainable world for the survival and prosperity of the current generation. The ESD for 2030 enables the achievement of the 17 SDGs by raising awareness of the goals in education settings, promoting critical and conceptual understanding of the SDGs, and mobilizing action towards the achievement of the SDGs. Service learning as a pedagogy integrates sustainable development modality. Service learning is a high-impact practice, a course-based, credit-bearing type of experiential learning. One type of service learning is online or e-service learning. In this approach, both the instruction and service component are conducted online. Research shows its benefits. First, ESL promotes understanding of SDGs, learning collaboration and teamwork, and understanding civic responsibility. Second, ESL saves time, ensures diversity of partners and accessibility. Third, it improves student achievement and engagement. However, despite some research on ESL, what seems to be a gap is the link between online service learning and achievement of the three goals of ESD 2030, which are increasing awareness of SDGs, localization of SDGs, and student mobilization for action. This paper attempts to fill these gaps through a case study of purposive communication at Salle University during the COVID-19 pandemic. Purposive communication is a general education course that hones students' ability to ethically, effectively, and professionally communicate through the strategic use of various communicative forms with different multicultural audiences and for the different purposes in various modes. This course specifically develops the students' ability to use their communication skills and the use of technology for civic participation in support of UN's Sustainable Development Goals. This paper answers the following research questions. First, how does ESL improve the awareness of students on SDGs? Second, how does ESL encourage the localization of SDGs? And third, how are students mobilized for action towards the SDGs during the COVID-19 pandemic? For the methodology, this study used the case study approach. Student reflection and student learning outputs were analyzed to uncover the impact of ESL on awareness, localization, and mobilization for action. Data were collected from 4 terms starting with Term 1 of 2020 to 2021 to Term 1 of 2021 to 2022. For the results and discussion, Table 1 summarizes the number of classes, partner organizations, and students in the past 4 terms. It is worth noting that Purposive Communication Electronic Service Learning was in partnership with COSCA, the Center for Social Concern and Action, which is the social development arm of the university. Teachers were given a choice to partner with COSCA in looking for partner organizations for their ESL. The design of ESL contributes in increasing awareness of SDGs. First, students are grouped into SDG through the LMS Canva. The system randomly assigns students and the group numbers refers to the SDGs they need to localize. There are 3 members in each group. Second, each group plans and writes a problem solution essay on a local problem under the SDG group. Third, the student increased their awareness during the advocacy forum when civic society groups describe the SDGs they support. And lastly, student presents to the invited NGOs the advocacy campaign materials they prepared. In this way, they also learn from the other groups on solutions for other SDGs. Student reflection shows the link between the course and their awareness of the SDGs. And I quote, I have always known how important the SDGs. I got most of my advocacies from the SDGs. However, through JEPCOM, gave me a deeper appreciation for the other SDGs that I neglected as we could connect all the SDGs, no matter how far it may seem. End of quote. Another reflection, and I quote, being introduced to the idea of sustainable development goals set up by the United Nations made me more interested to see what's in store for our future. Since I had to develop solutions on how to solve at least one of the 17 problems, I had to generate ideas and innovative solutions that were possible and would last long. Knowing that the SDG is intended to be achieved in the year 2030, I also had to consider future trends that would affect my proposed solution. Though it may not be easy to execute the solution quickly, it was a learning experience to have a creative mindset and explore different ideas to develop possible solutions. End of quote. Table 3 shows the localization of SDGs through students and NGO partnerships. As can be seen in the table, civil society group advocacies are varied and localized. For example, Handicap Center Lourdes addresses the need of people with disability, while Gawad Kalinga advocacies includes building cohesive and sustainable communities, shelter and land security, child and youth development, health and well-being, social business and family productivity. Student help localize the SDGs. First, student plan and write a problem solution evaluation essay on a local problem under the SDGs assigned to them. The essay is collaborative output of triads. Some students align their topics with the local problems of the NGO partner they choose, while others choose to work on other local issues. The second localization process is through the advocacy planning and preparation of advocacy plan for the partner organizations. Localizing refers to the adopting, implementing, and monitoring the SDGs at the local level. Localizing SDG through partnership increases the awareness of SDGs among stakeholders and create a shared understanding of the process of implementation and monitoring. Sample student reflections below shows the impact of the experience to localize the SDG. And I quote, after the service learning, I realized that localizing SDGs is the first step in improvement of the issues in the Philippines. It will benefit the economy of the Philippines as well as help those who are in need. End of quote. Another reflection, and I quote, this project really allowed me to step out of myself and into the shoes of both KHA and the partner communities they often help. In doing so, I was able to gain a wider perspective on how the systemic issues that remain rampant in the country, as well as the ways, both abstract and concrete, that they can be addressed. I was also able to gain a deeper understanding of the Lasallian mission and what it means not only express empathy for the vulnerable, but also strive to become a part of the solution rather than the problem. End of quote. Despite the closure of schools and quarantine protocols, De La Salle University students of Purposive Communication continue their classes fully online through the LMS Canva and synchronous classes via Zoom. Students are mobilized into two ways. First, they analyze the social media communication needs of the partner organization during the advocacy forum. And second, some groups conduct a social media audit in order to assess the quality of the post and to recognize areas for improvement. In this way, the students will be able to contribute to the advocacy communication of their chosen partner organizations. Sample advocacy campaign projects are ABP on climate change, posters promoting environmental protection, infographics materials on gender equality, infographic materials on spreading awareness about the PWDs. Another samples are child-friendly IEC materials promoting children's rights, advocacy materials in promoting the organization's vision and mission for global partnership, ABP on youth engagement towards community development and sustainability, and ABP for participatory democracy. As can be seen from examples, despite the limitation of face-to-face interaction, the students can be mobilized using the technical skills in helping the NGOs localize the SDGs and to increase awareness about their organization and their advocacies. The examples also shows a variety of ways by which students serve. Student reflections show the impact of service learning. And I quote, I would say that this service learning experience made me realize my capabilities in helping others. End of quote. Another one, and I quote, how it can be possible with the right organization and communication, and how important it is to do so, as it is our moral obligation to do so. It also made me realize that these SDG goals, though they sound quite grand, can be done incrementally in smaller communities. End of quote. One more reflection, and I quote, NGOs are very thoughtful in how they intend to help their society. However, there are those that fail to gather enough resources and support because of a lack of awareness. Therefore, I became a critical and creative thinker through the course requirement of developing publication materials for an NGO. Through the PodMats, I was able to meet the need of the NGO in developing a resource that will increase its organization's online presence in an attempt to continue helping those in need. End of quote. To conclude, the paper attempts to address the gaps in literature on the role of ESL in increasing awareness and localizing SDGs and mobilizing the youth despite the pandemic. Student reflection affirms the design of fully online service learning. Practices described in this paper may be of help to the universities as they move to the new normal. And lastly, further research may be conducted from the perspective of partner organizations in terms of the localization and mobilization of their partner students. Thank you for listening and have a great day.